What's up, guys? Welcome to Stormy Woodworks. Today I'm going to give you guys a quick rundown on how I sharpen my chisels and my plane irons. You don't need to go out and buy fancy things to sharpen it. You can get away with just simple sandpaper. This is a diamond hone block I picked up at Harbor Freight. I used it a lot. Fanciest thing I bought for this is just a simple guide. I picked this up at Woodcraft for about 15 bucks. You can find them on Amazon and I'm sure other places. This makes being consistent that much easier. Now, you don't necessarily need this. You can do it without. With that being said, get some of the stuff out of the way. First thing I done was I made a gauge block. Got one side marked for hand planes, the other side for chisels, and they're set for a 25 degree. So what you do, place it in the guide. Now chisels go in the bottom groove, plane irons go in the top. Get lined up. You just want to inch it up so it just touches the guide, the stop block I should say. And you tighten down the guide. Good idea to make sure that it is contacting across the top evenly so it's not twisted or anything in here. Normally I would use one of these. I just use water. You don't need honing oils or anything like that. You just work back and forth. But you don't need a diamond hone. You can get away with some sandpaper. Just use a nice flat surface, like my table saw top. Spray it down with some water. That way the sandpaper kind of adheres to it. And just work it back and forth. You don't need to put a lot of pressure down, just enough to keep it just want light pressure and just work it back and forth. Now, a good trick to do is take a Sharpie. Make sure I'm in camera. Just color it in. Take a few strokes, and then you can see exactly where you're sharpening at. Back here, you don't have to worry so much. It's up here. This is your business end right here. You want to get this nice and flat and sharp. So you just work this back and forth, and depending on the condition of your blade, kind of dictates just how long you're going to be. Now, if your chisel has a lot of nicks, deep gouges and whatnot in it, you may want to start off with a lower grit. Or you can actually take it to a grinder. Thing you have to remember with a grinder though is You don't want to get the steel too hot. Grind for a couple seconds, dip it in some water, cool it back off. A lot of blades are tempered. And if you get it too hot, you lose the temper and they become softer. Grab myself a paper towel here. I don't know how well this is going to show on camera. Single focus. Focus, Danielson. Basically, when you look at the very edge, if you can see the edge, you don't have an edge. Basically meaning, if you can see light reflecting across the tip of this, you need to sharpen some more. That looks pretty good. That one off to the side. That was a 400. I'm going to step up to an 800 grit. And once you have the edge established, the rest of the grits are basically just fine tuning that edge. It's going to allow you to get a razor sharp edge. So now I'm done with the 800 grit. And what I do is I look for a pattern across here. Single focus. The grind pattern. Each different grit will give you a different look. So after you're done with the 400, take a look, see what it looks like. Start with your 800. Once you see that pattern change across, you know that you're about as polished, if you will, with that grit that you can be. So from 800, I'll jump up to 1500. Just because I don't have a 1200 with me. And I'll work my way through this as well. And that's what you get with 1500 sandpaper. It's almost mirror-like. Well, hopefully you guys can see this. See all that? It's known as a slurry. This is why I find it to be important to use water as a lubricant, and it helps to keep all these little metal shavings from clogging up your sandpaper. Now, some people will sit here and keep spraying it off, and wipe it off, and keep going back some more. I generally don't do that too much unless I notice there's a lot of buildup. It's, from what I've been told and seen on other YouTube videos when I first started learning how to sharpen, it's kind of a personal preference thing. But basically everybody pretty much agreed. If you get a lot of shavings going on in the slurry, rinse it off. It only takes a couple of seconds. Now I'm going to finish this off with a 2000 grit. So now, the problem with doing it on a table saw like this, well, I can get enough of it on there, I suppose, is that you have things like this in the way when you go to flatten your back. Now, I can go to about here, which is more than needed, honestly. You really only need to worry about, from about here up. It's really this part here that you're most worried about. I'm going to start with the 400 grit again. And flattening and polishing your back is just as important as doing the bevel. This is the surface that, as you're trying to make a straight chisel, or like you're carving out a mortise, this is the area that's riding that inside. So the smoother and flatter this is, the easier it is to use. See how the tip there is almost polished in a way? This is the area you're mainly concerned about. Having the rest of this is a good idea, but it's not crucial. It's this tip part that is. That's after 800. See, this is almost getting polished already. Let it focus. Alright. You can see back here where some of the high spots were around the edges. And there you go. So now that we've sharpened our chisel, to test just how sharp it is, you can do what's called the paper test. Take a piece of paper, take a chisel, just run it on down. If you get a nice clean cut like that, you know you have a razor sharp chisel. Hope you guys were able to learn something today. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Make sure you subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. I'll see you all in the next one. Hello, and welcome back to Stormy Woodworks. Today, I just wanted to give you guys a quick video on how I sharpen my plain irons and my chisels. There's a couple things you're going to need. You at the very least need some sandpaper. It's your... And of course, the damn clock goes off. I'll find myself a piece of paper. And I'm going to apparently soak it because I'm a dumbass.